Hi, and welcome to Wellness Wednesday. I thought I was going to have a little blip there in my computer technology, but it looks like all is working well. So I hope you guys are here. Let me just check to see there's a message here. Don't need that. I hope you all can see me, and I will try to fix this so I can see the chat board. I know last week I was having some issues with being able to see your chat comments. Hopefully this week I'll be able to catch those. But what's special about this week and this month? This is National Nutrition Month. And so we're going to talk a little bit about not only health and wellness, but nutrition. It is an annual campaign that was created by the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics, and it focuses on the importance of making informed food choices and developing sound eating and physical activity habits. So we here at 60Up want to encourage this important mission, and we'll be joining the effort with some really simple, healthy eating tips and information, along with, of course, your daily workouts. So my focus is on exercising and eating with balance in mind today. What do I mean by that? Eating a balanced diet is important, and it's so important the kind of food you eat. So it affects not only how you feel, but how you function and how your body works. In order to talk a little bit about that basic balance, we need to go to what the USDA recommends. And you can find this information on myplate.gov and a lot of also extra information. But in general, we're going to talk about briefly what are the basic components of a balanced diet. My plate, I've got my little illustration here. So a while ago, it used to be the food pyramid. I don't know if you remember those days, probably back from elementary and grammar and high school. They talked about the eating pyramid, and what should be at the top is the least things you eat, and what should be at the bottom should be the things you ate most. At some point, they skewed that to the my plate theory. And the way they want you to look at, or we want you to look at the way you eat, is thinking of a balance of your macronutrients, which are carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. Do you remember that from basic nutrition? So, carbohydrates, which are so important for overall energy, because these are the foods that supply your muscles and your brain with energy to function. That should be about 60% of your plate. So, you can do a little more than half. And if you think of this as your overall daily eating habit, you can think of it as 3 plates a day with the same balance, or the whole day with this balance. What are carbohydrates? Those are all those wonderful fruits and vegetables, pastas and breads and grains. That's what fills up 60% of your daily diet. The next area of concentration is protein. And protein should fill up about 25% or a quarter of what you're eating of the day. And the reason for that is that protein is so important when it comes to tissue building as well as repair and recovery. And so think about it. Your hair is growing, your nails are growing. You cut yourself, you have to grow a scab. You injure a muscle, you have to repair the muscle. And protein is very vital in that process. So foods that are naturally rich in protein as a macronutrient would be, of course, all of your animal foods like fish and beef and chicken, and their byproducts like milks and cheese and many nuts and legumes as well are high in a protein value. So that's about 25% of your plate. And then the remaining amount is fat. So you want to try to keep the fat, which is also a dense form of calories. So it's for energy. Also, it helps with hormone and vitamin balance, especially those fat soluble vitamins. So fat is still a very important part of your diet, even though it's gotten a bad rap over the years. We tend to think that just because the macronutrient is fat, it means you're going to become fat. Doesn't always in the right percentage. Very healthy fats are your different oils, your olive oils, your butters, um, your foods that have a high oil content like avocado and nuts. These are all part of those extra calories that we do need to thrive and survive and to be able to keep up with the energy demands of life. So that's the basics, very basic today, our little 60, 25, 15. You notice I have a little thicker line here because these two will shift a bit, depend on specific goals. Like if you're trying to lose weight, you might find that you're going to eat a little less than 15% fat and put maybe a little more in the protein or carbohydrates, and vice versa. If you're losing weight or you're trying to build tissue and you need more calories, you might increase that fat percentage so that you have the energy needed. In a plate, that's what you're going to eat like. And in a day, that's what you're going to eat like. So that's my little bit of education today for Nutrition Month. And now let's move on to the workout. So what are we going to do in our workout? We're going to keep it very balanced as well. And my goal for the workout is that we balance our cardio, our strength, and of course, our stability, which is balance in motion. And we're going to do a circuit style today. I love the circuit style because it's short little snippets of a minute or two of each. We're going to utilize, of course, the 60 up board. And as you notice, I have my short bands connected to the outer slots of the board. So please set that up right now as I'm talking if you don't already have yours on. And if you're new or you feel like the strength part is a little difficult, remember you can do the movement without the resistance, and it's still going to be a concentrated mind to muscle effort. So don't feel that you have to use the bands if you don't feel up to it. You could also instead use a water bottle as a weight. So that's another option. And please do have some water nearby. I have a stool in the back. You can have a chair in the back. I like to have something that you can utilize to sit down or take a personal break whenever you need it. That way, when I do an intermediate format, which this class is, you can regress it a little bit by sitting down and taking breaks anytime you get tired. And that's an excellent way for anyone to take a workout and make it a little bit more doable for themselves. So with that said, I think it's time to get up and get moving. Last week, some of you were commenting that it was a little bit hard to hear me. So I am hoping that today you can hear me. I have my my earpods in, and that should make for a much clearer listening value. I just want to make sure that I am live in the 60 Up group because I'm not seeing any comments, and I'm hoping that where I am is in the right place right now. So anybody can write a little comment, that would be great. This is a little concerning because I don't see any comments, and I know normally you guys are out there making comments. Let me real quick do a check. So stick with me, get your tubes on, and I'm going to be right back. Wonderful technology, always a little bit of a problem here, right? But I'm going to come over onto my phone and just check and make sure that we are live in the right spot today. All right, let's see if I go to, sorry about this, gang. This is live technical difficulties right here. Going over to our group, hoping we're live. Not seeing us. Oh, there we are. Okay, so I think we're good to go. Excellent. Well, I guess I can check here if you guys are saying anything to me. All right. Hey, Kathy. Be checking out your workout later. Thank you, Vicki. All right. That was a quick little spot check. Behind the scenes technology. All right. So back to the workout. We are going to, again, be using the tubing. We're going to be using the board. We're going to be circuiting. We're going to keep this snappy. We're going to work on cardio, strength, and stability. Here we go. Today, you will not be having to worry about my music because I want you to really be able to hear me and work out without any distraction. Let me know how that goes for you guys, okay? All right. Let's start, as always, with a posture check. Standing up nice and tall, head over shoulders, shoulders over hips, abdominals engaged, Feet about shoulder width distance apart, hands up on your poles for comfort, and let's just start a little rock where we lift the heel and let your body sway from side to side. Always important to get everything moving, get everything working, and warm it up before we get going with our circuit. So I'm letting my heel come up to kind of warm up the feet, the arches, the ankles. Good. Hands are on the poles, head is high, chest is lifted. Nice deep breaths. All right, now we're going to take and bend the knee and start to move into the hips, the knees, and all the muscles that surround those joints. Make sure your knees are bending in the direction of your toes and that your stance is wide enough that you feel comfortable with this. Inhale and exhale. Let your shoulders shift. Good. You've got that. Lean it side to side. Now, from here, we're going to just slightly sit back so that your toe can rock up from one side to the next. Warming up the shins, increasing that mobility at your ankle. So important, especially as we get a little bit older. Seems like that's one of the first areas that needs extra attention, those ankles and that footwork. 4 more. 3, 2. Now bring it to the center. Walk the feet in a little, toes and heels, and then let's just sit back and then lift up. So we're just going to sit back into our hips and lift up. Good. Sit back and lift up. This is a great exercise functionally because it introduces you to where you need to be to very comfortably get in and out of a chair. You've got to lead with those hip muscles. You've got to try to keep your core, watch mine, engaged. So don't allow the back to round forward, but keep that spine in nice alignment so that you have the power and the leverage to get up. Nice. 2 more times. This also just feels good back in those hip muscles, doesn't it? Now we're going to stay down on this one, and we're just going to take and round the back up and down. So purposefully stretching the back. Let me show you this from the side view. We round it and stretch. We flatten it to neutral. Up for 2 and back. You keep doing that. I just want to move my chair out of the way a little bit to make sure that you're not being blocked from my view. Good. So are you rounding and then dropping? A little bit of a pelvic tilt. The chin tucks under. This is such a great way to increase the mobility of the spine and to loosen and limber and get those synovial fluids pumping through your back. Good. All right. Last one. Now come up tall. Bring the feet together. And let's just push up through our heels and then slowly come down. So we're just going to rise up. And I want you to think of zipping or tightening up your body and your muscles as you come up onto your toes as high as you can go. And then you gently let it roll back down through the foot. Again, rise up, tighten the glutes, tighten the core. Very nice. All right, now on this next one, we're going to rise up and stay here, tighten everything up, and then gently come down and rock back, picking our toes up off the floor. So I don't know, you can't see my toes. They're like that. They're off the floor. Again, all the way up, really full mobility in that foot and ankle complex, and then come down and rock back. You're going to stick your hips out a little bit to get those toes up. Nice. One more time. Full range up. Deep breath, tight body, chin up, chest up, and then rock back and stretch into those calves. Mobilize those ankles. Awesome. Stand tall. All right. Let's start a nice easy march. Our first cardio burst is just going to be an easy march on the ground. Feel free to hold your poles. We want to get that cardio up. For those of you that are a little more advanced, feel free to pump your arms. For those of you that are just starting or want to take it easy, you can also feel free to pull your chair behind you and march from the seated position. Either way works for me, whatever works for you. Good. Here we go. We got a full minute of a nice strong march. Walking arms or hold on top. Balance hands. Chest up, chin up. Breathe. Let that oxygen fill those lungs up. Use those abdominal muscles, those diaphragm muscles. Exhale. Get that body moving. You can also slow the pace down if this is a little too aggressive out of the gates. Listen to your body. Here we go. We've got about 10 more seconds. Excellent. Keep it going. In 4, in 3, in 2, in 1. Now step it out. Knees and toes slightly turned out. Our first strength move is just going to be a wide squat. So I want you to increase that mobility at the hip and just drop down in the middle like your tailbone is going to sink to the floor. And I want you to take your time on this, hold your poles, and hopefully having those poles there will make you feel more comfortable going a little lower into the plie. Down and up. Keep going, head high. We have just about a minute of this strength move. And then we're going to move on to our balance set. Okay, keep that head high. Feel those muscles engaging. Mentally connect mind to muscle here as you're coming up or extending those knees. Tighten all the muscles up the thigh and buttocks. Tighten it up. Pelvic floor even. Keep the chest high, the head high. We got 5 seconds. Couple more. Stop when you need to. Last one. And now what we're going to do is we're going to slide one foot into the middle, right along that red line. We're going to take the other foot and place it on the board and try to balance. Hold this. You've got it, guys. 1 minute. Now, please remember which foot is up because we're going to do that whole series again with the opposite leg up. Okay? So hold, and if you can, try to have very light fingertips on the top of your poles or no hands at all. Tighten up that hip joint, tighten up that pelvis, keep the shoulders level, keep the chin parallel, hold and balance, or hold and balance. And when you need to, step down and shake it out. We got 15 seconds to go. Woo! This is also a nice screen because we want to build up our time that we can stand on one leg like this. It really helps, especially when we get on the board. All right, 4, 3, 2, 1, done. March it out. Again, a minute. Let's march it, march it, march it. Good. Keep it going. Chin and chest up. My leg was up. Remember, next time, opposites. Here we go. Up, up. If you want, and you want to be more aggressive, you can pump those arms. You can even jog a little if you are a little more athletic-minded today or just feeling up to it. Some days we have those bursts. Might as well take advantage of it. The higher the intensity, the more calories we burn. We didn't talk about calories today, but at some point we will talk about calories when it comes to Nutrition Month. All right, we got 15 seconds. How you doing? Excellent. Coming around the clock, coming around the minute. This is our circuit, 60 up circuit special. 5 more seconds. Now we're going to do a floor squat again, but this time instead of wide plie style, we're going to do a chair squat. So I want your feet to be just about hip distance apart. I want you to sit back. So instead of your tailbone going down like a sinker towards the floor, your hips are going back like you're trying to sit down on a stool or a chair behind you. So sit back, but keep your core, that's the trunk muscles, engaged or activated so that you don't lose good posture and alignment. And as you come back, really lead with those hip muscles. We got a minute of these. We're over halfway through. Again, you can Try to slide down those poles and really increase the range of this strength move, or keep it more modest if it's bothering you at the joints of any type, whether it's the hips or the knees. All right, one more time. All right, how's your memory? Step the feet together, opposite foot up. We got a minute of balance, so hold here on that one foot. See if you can test yourself, letting go. Excellent job. Whew. You've got this. Nice and tall. Pull your shoulder blades downward. That's it. You can always hold on. You can always tap down, but try to work on that full minute of balance. A little bit of wobble isn't a problem. That's when your body rights itself. That is when your brain says, here's how I react to that wobble. That's the learning curve. That's where you build balance. That's where you build stability. Feel those muscles gripping around the hip. Keep that chin parallel to floor. Excellent. A few more seconds. And we're done. All right, we're ready to move on to the second combo. So this one, our cardio is just going to be a basic step. Lead leg here. We're going to go up, 2, down, 2. Take your time. Climb that step. All right, so up, 2, down, 2. Lift, lift. Now, for those of you that are finding this a little difficult, slow it down. There's no need to rush. For those of you that want to pick up the pace, go a little faster. That's fine too. So really take this at a pace that you like, that you feel comfortable with. But it's a full minute of stepping like you're going upstairs, but those stairs are a little rickety, which makes this really special because you're also working on reaction and balance and cardio all at the same time. Let's do a couple more. Last one, and then take that leg that you led with, put it in the red zone, slide the other foot back, and let's do some lunge movements where you're going to lunge or bend down and then tap up. Lunge and bend down, tap up. Again, this is a strength move for the thighs and the hips, but it's also got that great balance component as you step up here. Now, if this is too difficult, then just stay in the stationary lunge and do just the lunging action. Concentrate on that if you're finding the lunge lift to be a little challenging. But breathe for me. We're almost there. A minute of this. Whew. You've got this. About 10 more seconds. Take it at the pace you like. Try to keep that board as stabilized as possible. All right, last one. Hold here. Now, from here, what I want you to do is I want you to step back down. I want you to take this arm and lift, and I just want you to lean and hold. So see if you can do this. So here we go. Hold it. One arm is reaching, one leg is reaching. Try to balance it. If it gets too difficult, put your hand back on the pole and just let your leg be up. This is an opposite leg and arm reach. Hold. Balance, balance, balance. You're really going to feel that down in the ankle. Can you feel that? You got to keep your core strong. Modify when it starts to get too shaky. You can really see that board shake up, can't you? And again, don't be afraid of the wobble. That is your brain catching up with what it needs to do to keep you stable and balanced. 4 seconds, 3, 2, 1, and done. Whew, that's great. All right, so shake off that leg, shake off that leg. All right, other lead, other leg. So we're going to go back to the basics. Here we go. Step up, step down for a minute. See how snappy a circuit is? It's kind of nice because you know that any move is only going to be done for about a minute. And so if you don't like it, you can always say, I think I'm going to sit this move out and join the next move. So that's a great way to leverage progression. So you can say, you know what, Kathy? Today I'm only going to do half of this class, or I'm only going to do every other circuit set. because I need a little break in between, or use my modifications so you can keep doing the entire workout, but always be listening to your body and staying in a reasonable level of intensity and capability. All right, one more step up, and then taking the, again, opposite foot to the center. Remember, we were going to do our lunge and tap up. So I'm lunging down behind and tapping up, or I'm going to stay in the lunge and just work that stationary lunge position, bending or dropping the back knee. So a lot of this is up to you. I often suggest you try one or two of the more, what's called intermediate style. And then if it's too hard, you can always go back to the easier style, which is just staying in the lunge position. And if even this is too hard, you could keep doing your lunges. You could say, okay, I'm having trouble with this, and just do the lunge on the floor, which is always going to be easier. Okay, we've got about two more. And then last one, and then remember we stayed up. We let one leg go back, one arm come forward, and we try to balance it. If this is too difficult, keep the hands here and just leave the leg up. Work at keeping that nice lifted feeling, core control through your abdominals, nice balance and stability on that standing leg. A minute is a long time, I know that. So if you feel the need to breathe and take a break, step down and just rest. But for those of you that are in it and can do it and feel good with it, let's stay there. We got 20 seconds to go. Pull, tighten, lift, balance. Feel that reaction in the ankle, that strength through the core, that stability through the entire body. Connect that brain to what you're doing. Here we go. 5 more seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1, and done. Woo! Let's just shake it off for a second. Water break. So let's all come around, and if you have some water, please get some. And whew, how you feeling? Let's see. I'm going to look at my phone and see if anybody has commented, because obviously I'm not seeing them on my computer. All right, I see there's 8 comments here, so I know you're out there. Yay! Mona, good to see you. Liddy and Betsy and Deborah, thank you for being here today as always. All right, gang, where are we going? Let's see. I'm going to put this by me because I really like that I can catch some of your comments as we're going, learning new things every day. All right, so what's our next move? Our next move is cardio. And what we're going to do in the next cardio move is we're going to do an alternating step up. All right, so if you've been here before with me, you'll know what that is. You're going to kind of go on a diagonal, and life isn't always straightforward, so I like that. You're going to step up and touch, and then you're going to come right back down to the floor, and then go right over to the other angle. So it alternates. So here we go for a minute. Ready? Step and tap, down for 2. Step and tap, down for 2. Now, again, slow this down if you need to, or pick it up if you want to. But we're going for the minutes. Here we go. Step, touch, step, down. Good. Keep it up. Keep the chin up. Keep the chest up. Keep the body movement going. See, that diagonal step is really nice as well functionally, because when you turn a corner, you've got to learn to be able to transition your hip, your pelvis, your knee, your toe, your body alignment. So this is also a nice functional pattern for you as well as a cardio pattern. All right, we've got 2 more to go. Nice. Last one to each side. Last side. All right, and then I want you to stay on this side. Keep your foot up. Grab your side tubing. I hope you have it on. And step back into a little bit of a lunge, and let's do our classic pull or row for those back muscles. Oh, I love this tubing for this one. Now, if you don't have tubing on, because you just kind of missed that or you didn't want to do that, you can still just take your arm, reach and pull, or if you have a weight or water bottle, hold it in that outside hand and pull. Now, just as important as the pulling action is the stabilizing of my front leg and my core, my spine, my trunk, my torso. So let's take it nice and slow, pull and reach. Let's do about 4 more. Let's do 3. Let's do 2. Let's do 1. And now our stabilization move, put that band back on, and it's going to be a slow up and down. So we're just going to go up, 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 hold, down, up, 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 hold, down. So it's kind of like an elevator. Let's go up, tighten, and then let's come down. Again, up, tighten, and down. Now this last one, we're going to come up and tighten, and we're going to hold, and then we're going to add just a leg extension. So try to keep that core stable as you extend the knee and bend the knee. Open and close the joint, working on quadricep strength, but also working a lot on balance and control. So hold here. If you want to let go, boy, that would be extra challenging, wouldn't it? 2 more. Last one, and bring it down. All right, so once again, we're going to start that pattern where we're going to go to the lift and hold. So remember what we did? We step, tap, step, down, step, tap, step, down. Now this time, if you want to make it a little bit more intense, instead of tapping, do a knee lift. That's still considered an alternating step up because you alternate the knee every time. Turning and diagonal lifting, core lifted high, chin and chest up as well. There we go. Down for 2 and up. Keep that cardio minute going and flowing. The minute sure seems to go fast when it's cardio, but a little slower when it's stability work, doesn't it? I guess that's a little lesson in time. When you're moving, you don't feel it. When you're staying still, you do. So let's keep that a life lesson, I guess. Last one, and then we're going to stay here. We're going to keep that foot down, transfer so we can hold the tube or weight or whatever it is you have, even if it's just mind to muscle. Lean in a lunge position, align that body, and start that rowing action. Don't be in a hurry on this. And if you're not feeling enough resistance, when it comes to tubing, you simply, what I call choke up. Did you notice what I just did? I grabbed the tubing a little lower, which is going to make the resistance a lot tougher. Or get the longer tube if it's too hard to reduce that tension. When it comes to weight, it's about holding a heavier weight if you want it to be harder. So sometimes it's harder to modify weights than tubes because tubing, you just change the grip. Here we go. 2 more. Last one. Hook up that handle. Stabilize on this leg. Come up real slow. And then come back down. And come up real slow. And come back down. And then let's come up real slow. Holding everything together. Engaging and lifting the pelvic floor as well. Hold it. Now let's go out and in. Out and in. This is where the tough get going and the going get tough. I said it right. Often I don't. So here we go. Push out and in. Are you one of those people that seems to get those old adages a little bit backward? All right, here we go. Almost. Stay strong. You can do this. Whew. Nice. Last one. And we have it done. Step down. All right, shake it off. We just finished another circuit set. Now, this next one is going to be done up on board. So go ahead and bottom out on the 2 and 2 and get comfortable up in space here. And the first minute is going to be a rock. So here we go. Just rock it out. Now, what I love about the basic rock is you really get to explore the bottom of your feet. So think about it. Rock from your pinky toe, and then rock from your midfoot, and then rock from your big toe. I know it's just a slight shift in brain focus, but think about engaging those different angles or portions of your bottom of your foot. Now, instead of thinking feet, let's think knees. Rock from your knees. Think about bending and shifting. We got about 15 more seconds of the rock. Let's take it up a little higher and push from the hip. Sit back a little bit. See how much more strong and dominant that rock is. Good job. We got this. All right, and that's a minute. Back up just a bit so you're comfortable on your board. Now from here, we're going to do calf raises. So rise up, down, again. Ooh, boy, this is going to strengthen those calf muscles, but it's also really working on balance when you're on the board. You can do it on the floor as well. If this is too advanced, try to get those heels up and then slowly elevator them down. What do I mean by elevator? Don't just plop them. Control and feel through the bottom of that foot that we stimulated during the rock. Whew, all the way up. Now, those of you that have trouble or a little neuropathy, or drop foot, or problems manipulating the peripheral muscles, just think it up. Even if it doesn't move much, think it up. It'll work. It'll come to you. 2 more. Now, of course, our balance move, where you think we're going to be, we're going to stay up. Now, hold it there. This is going to be really tough to do for a full minute. And there's going to be a little wobbling going on, no doubt. Hold those poles. You come out of it when you need to. I'm going to try to hold it for a full minute. I'm going to think during this minute up the chain of my body. So first I'm going to think about the arches of my feet, the calves, the thighs, the buttocks, the abdominals, the shoulders. I'm going to just tighten and pull up head, neck, shoulders. Hold and breathe. Hold and breathe. Wiggle your fingers every once in a while. Are you still up there? You can come down and take a break, no problem. See how long you can stay. It's a super challenge balance move. Here we go. We got about 10 seconds to go. Woo, my calves are feeling it. How about you? My core is feeling it. 4, 3, 2, 1. Done. All right. Second set. We're going to step a little wider. And we're going to rock again, but we're going to bend those knees and really plant the rock. Plant the rock. Use your hips. Use your thighs. Did you ever play sports? Did you ever play baseball? You know, have to get in the catcher position. You lower your center of gravity so you've got good power to move and bend and pick up and catch the ball or throw the ball. So sit back into the pitcher sit and push off between your right and left foot. And let's just rock this puppy out. Here we go. Push, push, push. Get that cardio minute going. Use your arms a little bit. You can also be pushing your palms into those poles, engaging more chest and front shoulder, and that is going to heighten the cardio response, because anytime you recruit more muscles, you recruit more need for oxygen, you recruit more cardio intensity. Here we go. 4, 3, 2, 1. Woo, and done. All right, wide stance. Now on this one, what I want us to do is to, again, come up to the toes and down, but it's just a little different angle, isn't it? So let's do those calf raises. Up, down. Ooh, boy, this one's harder to balance. There we go. Try to keep that board level. You've got this. Lift and tighten. Hold on to those poles, but don't overgrip them. Every once in a while, I like to remind myself by wiggling my fingers not to overgrip. Why? It kind of takes the energy out of what you should be focused on, which is your legs right now. Legs, calves, core, even pelvic floor. Can we all lift the pelvic floor as we go up? That one is a secret exercise. I can't see you doing it. Hopefully you are, though. Lift up. Here we go. 2 more times. Last one. Now, for this balance, I want your toes up. So, try to keep that board balanced. Don't let your toes drop. Stay on your heels. Dig them in. Oh, yes. That feels actually good, doesn't it? It's like you're stretching the muscles that you were just working. You are stretching the muscles you were just working, your calves. But you're also recruiting and stabilizing for that front shin area called the tibialis anterior. And it's also really helping to reduce some of our issues with, I like to call it shuffle foot. Sometimes we don't actually have drop foot, but we shuffle too much. So this is a great way to counterbalance the strength of our calves and recruit more muscles down the front of our shin, the toe picker uppers. So important for fall prevention. All right, hold it here. Try to stay balanced. 10 more seconds. We are getting there. We are almost there. We are just about there. We have 4, we have 3, we have 2, we have 1, and we're done. All right, from this wide stance, pivot and turn. Aha. Toes and knees in the same direction. This is our last circuit set for the day, and then we get to stretch. Hope you're still with me. So from here, we're just going to rock forward and back, forward and back. I want you to feel this in the front and the back leg as we do a little rocking horse move for a minute. Here we go. Come on, push and pull, push and pull. Woo! Ride 'em, cowboy. Now, for those of you that want to make this a little bit more aggressive, you can let the foot come up as you're rocking. And that's going to make it more aggressive. But for those of you that want to just stay a little more controlled, just shift by putting your weight into the front knee, back knee, front knee, back knee. Core tall, core straight. Push and pull, push and pull. Looking good. Here we go. Nice. Inhale and exhale. Almost there. 1 minute. Remember, today is our 60 up super circuit. Focus on cardio strength and stability. Focus on a balanced workout and a balanced plate or balanced diet. This is March and it's nutrition month. So we're going to be talking a little bit about both move and eat. How do we do them in the right proportion, the right balance? All right, we're there. Holding the position that you're at. Now, step forward, both feet, grab that front tube that's in front of you. And from here, we're just going to do a raise up to the front, raise out to the side. Now, this is hard, isn't it? Because that short tube doesn't give me much work or much room to go. So I'm going to bend my knees so that I have a little bit more range of motion. And don't worry if that tubing isn't really getting all the way up to the level shoulder, because the first 2/3 of the move are in most cases the most important. It involves a little more of the rotator cuff. It involves less stress to the shoulder girdle, because the higher the arm raises, the more it might cause some impingement. So just keep pumping and pushing. Last one. Very nice. I love that. Go ahead now and put that tubing back on. All right. And then from here, we're going to just try to take the leg, the outside leg, and we're going to lift it and we're going to touch the pole and move out. Touch the pole and move out. Let me show you from the front position what this is looking like, okay? So I'm touching the pole and then going out. So this is called adduction. This is called abduction of the hip. So I'm adducting, abducting. And as I'm going through that range of motion, I have to work really hard to keep my balance, but also to keep my pelvis level, my posture up, my chin parallel. If this is too difficult, please feel free to stand on the floor. Nice. How we doing? We got 5 more seconds. See how fast that minute went? There we go. Last one. Awesome. Shake it off a little bit and turn around. Easy. Little tiny steps. Tiny, 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 tiny. That's it. Little quick steps. Awesome. Same thing other direction. Step into the rocking pattern. Shift that weight forward and back. You can lift the knee if you want to make it more aggressive. We've got a minute of this to do. Once in a while, I always recommend you glance down to make sure that your feet are not too close to the edge or the back. And then once you know your feet are in the right position, bring your chin back up. Make your eyes stay forward. Make your brain see your feet. Make your brain connect to your body rather than using your eyes. Because in life, we need to be able to walk, talk, chew gum, and do a lot of things without having to watch our feet, right? So this is great functionally from that perspective. All right, how we doing? Ooh, we're almost through with the minute. Excellent job, everyone. Let's do 2 more. Let's do 1 more. Let's step those feet together. Bend those knees in a little demi squat And then let's go front and side. Now, again, do not worry that that arm doesn't move all the way up level to the shoulder girdle. Just take that first third of the range and slowly push up, slowly let it down. Ooh, this is hard. If it gets super hard and you say, this tube is way too hard, then put the tube down and just do the arm movement. But put some mind and muscle resistance into it, okay? So that's when we really do a little dynamic tension creation from our brain. Here we go, front and side and front and side. Ooh, almost there. Front and side. One more set. Front and side. Go ahead and put that down. Stand up, take that outer leg and cross and open. So remember on this one, we're doing adduction across, abduction out, and we're just working to stay very stable on that standing hip, very tall with our posture, safe because you can hold the pole if you need to. And at any time you need to, you can stop, take a break, or perform the move from the floor. What does that look like? You guys keep going. So if I wanted to perform it from the floor, I would just step around to the side and hold my pole and do it from the floor. So that's what makes an intermediate workout so great for anyone, because with a slight shift in what we're doing, we can make it a little more beginner oriented and or a little more advanced by simply letting go, right? I always love having at least 3 options for these kind of movements. All right, 4 more, 3, 2, and done. Whew. Let's step back, little tiny step, and then step off the end, and let's get some water. We've got just about 10 seconds to go. Wonderful job, everyone. I mean, very fantastic. If you stuck with me this whole way, I'm proud of you, all right? Remember my tip, 3 gulps. Not today's, but we talked about hydration a while ago, and I said, take 3 big gulps. That's about 2 ounces, and you want to get that in about every 20 minutes of a workout. So you tally up 6 to 8 ounces with your workout. Okay, that's just a re-clue. Here we go. Now we're going to come back down and we're going to stretch. Yay. I've heard from you guys before saying that. Let me check in and see if there's anybody with a good comment over here. All right. We're here. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Lydia. I'm so glad. I know in the beginning I was asking, are you here or aren't you here? But I'm so glad you've answered me. I guess this is really key, being able to come over and see you on my phone. All right, so let's come on back and stretch. Hopefully you took a little water break. You're feeling good. You're thinking about what you did and how much you accomplished in this hour. Not only, let's take one arm up and over. Not only did you learn, hopefully, or reinforce, I'm sure you've all heard the basics of nutrition before, carbohydrates, fats, and proteins, and eating the right proportion. Very basic information. You know what happens is we sometimes just get lost in the shuffle. We learn a lot of new things, and sometimes we forget the basics. And that's why today, during Nutrition Month, we're really not going to go out on a limb, and we're not going to prescribe any diets per se or any really new fads, but we are going to reinforce proper and healthy eating, and proper and healthy eating with balance in mind. So that was my stick for today, right? That food plate, which you can find again on myplate.gov. There's a lot of cool tools there which help you do some deeper dive into nutrition. I'm just rolling my back, really letting those spinal vertebrae stretch and move, holding onto my poles. So today we have done a lot. We've balanced our diet. You've got your plate marching orders, 60% carbs, 25% protein, 15% fat, and we balanced our body because we really did work a little of everything. Did you feel that? We did cardio, we did strength, we did stability and balance. All right, now from here, let's go ahead and step to the side. And then I want you to step back with one leg and put the a hand on the pole so you're comfortable with the leg that's back, and then the other hand on the front of your thigh. So again, you're stable, you're comfortable. You're in what I'll call a supported runner's lunge. Remember that term, runner's lunge? Usually a real runner's lunge looks a little more like this. So for those of you that are a little more advanced and flexible, slide your hand down the pole and go into a more traditional runner's lunge, which is going to give you a really deep sense of stretch in the hip muscles. There we go. And be perfectly happy with, we'll call it the modified, doable runner's lunge as well. Now, from this runner's lunge, I want you to take the back heel and peel up as high as it can go, and then push it down as low as it can go. We're going to do a few slow rolls to really focus on the foot. So you want to feel it, pull the heel up, feel it in the big toe, and then down to the calf and Achilles tendon area of that lower leg, pressing that heel down. Let's do one more like that. Lift up, stretch the arch of the foot, wiggle your fingers every once in a while, and then push down and stretch through the calf, holding and stretching that calf muscle. Very nice. Awesome, awesome. Always want to hold a deep stretch at the end of class, not the beginning, but a deep stretch for about 3 to 5 deep breaths. Or my spiel, which is about 3 to 5 deep breaths, or 20 to 30 seconds. So now we're going to take that back leg, we're going to slide it forward, but we're going to keep the toe under. So see what I did? You probably can't see it. Let me show you. I did this. Oh, I'm going to get the top of my shoe dirty. Oh, well, it's worth it. I'm going to stretch my shin. I'm going to tilt my pelvis under, drop my tailbone down, lift my sternum up, and I'm going to open up this really important, big, strong muscle group called the hip flexors. And they need to be stretched because they're always in a shortened position when we sit too long. So I'm just assuming that we're sitting a little more than we should most days. All right, push that hip forward, keep that chin up, keep that toe under, hold it, 3 to 5 deep breaths. Are you there? And release it and come to the center. Nice, nice, nice. Hip hinge with a flat back and just rock your feet so the toes are coming up and down. I'm going to again, oops, there goes my microphone. I'm going to again stand on my board so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm doing this with my toes. Okay, but I'm on the floor because we're done with the balance work. And what we're doing now is just really getting some good concentrated final stretching out of the class. So rock those toes. Where are you feeling this? I bet you're feeling it in your hamstring. Another very tight group in life. You might feel it in the calf still. Awesome. And then turn and pivot to the other direction. Once again, back leg, hand on pole, same side. Front leg, hand on thigh. Wiggle, wiggle down to wherever you feel your runner's lunge is at its edge of discomfort, but with control. Ground the board and just push that hip slightly forward and hold. If you want to try going lower, one nice reason for trying to increase this range down here is that when you're on the floor and you have to get up, see how that runner's lunge down low is exactly where you need to be to get up off the floor. So that's why sometimes I do encourage that we try to take our body into a little deeper range as long as there's no pain or fear of falling. You don't want to go somewhere where you're not comfortable. But again, this product kind of negates the fear of falling because you've got something to hold on to, right? All right, so if you're okay up here, I'm okay with you here as well. Now we're going to put the focus into the foot. We're going to roll that heel up real high so you feel your toes stretching. And then we're going to push that heel firmly down so you feel your calf muscle stretching. Take a deep breath. We're going to do that again. Roll that heel up high, stretch the bottom of the foot. Push down. Notice how I still have my front hand stable on my thigh rail, I'll call it. It's like a chair rail. It's my thigh rail. Keeps me in balance. Got my other hand on the pole. One more time. Pull up, stretch arch of the foot, stretch toes of the feet, and then push down, heel to ground, heel to ground. Nice deep breath. Inhale, exhale. Go back and think about keeping that feeling of bracing around your center so your spine is in control and stable. And then slide that back foot toe under, dirty the shoe, and push the hip forward. So drive from the glute. Open up that hip flexor. Feel that long stretch from the hip where it attaches at the pelvis down to the thigh and knee. Hold here. Oh, that feels good. Oh, stretch it out. Keep that bracing or banding feeling around your waistline. Inhale and exhale. Whew. Great job, everyone. 3 to 5 deep breaths. Pivot to the front, toes forward, feet about shoulder width distance apart. Hinge down and stretch the hamstrings with a flat back. Feet stay flat this time. Let's just tuck the chin down. Stretch the back of the neck. Let's lift the head slightly, mobilizing the neck and down again. Your knees could be a little bit soft here or bent if you want. Inhale and exhale. Now this next time, as you bring the head up, I want you to look over and behind one shoulder to the ceiling and then bring it down and tuck it. And then look over and behind the other shoulder towards the ceiling. So this is a kind of good stretch for the neck, but also sometimes it clears the ear canal. All right, drop down. If you feel any vertigo, then of course reduce the range or discontinue the exercise. Turn up, bring it down, turn it up, bring it down, and then bend the knees and pull up and roll up through the head and shoulders. Put yourself in a nice tall centered position. Feet come in. Think about how good you feel right now. How proud you are that you completed the workout. And know that you can always come back and re-repeat it anytime during the day. We have classes Monday through Friday with Dan and Debbie and I to give you maximum variety and fun. All right, now tighten your glutes a little bit. Let one arm reach up and over. Inhale, exhale, other arm, inhale, exhale. And for those of you that are comfortable, rise up with the arms, pull the rain down, the energy into the body, and leave whatever you don't need on the floor for the next great workout. Thank you, guys. Let me check in real quick and see if I've got any new comments. And now that I know how to see them up close, that's great. Thank you. Oh, Mona, I'm so glad you found it challenging, but I hopefully not too challenging. And Betsy loves my stretches. Thank you, Joanne. Welcome. And I don't know if I've seen you in the class before. And oh, thank you, Liddy. She's giving me a great pat on the back. And oh, she feels more lubricated, and that is the point of moving those joints, because motion is lotion. So, Mona, thank you. Everybody here today, thank you again for joining me. And hopefully this month you'll have a balanced diet and a balanced body. All right, take care. Signing off with 60 up. Till next week, Wellness Wednesday. Love you guys. Keep joining us.